Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be a community update for October 25th, featuring a new legendary fusion, so let's get into it. Alrighty, so lots to cover in this video. Like I said, a new legendary fusion coming into the world of Raid, and also an event and a tournament to go over. So first, let's go over the event. And we can see that this event is going to be a Dungeon Divers event, which means as you acquire artifacts and accessories, you're going to acquire points. Now, if you're a new player, the most efficient route to go, I usually recommend doing the campaign, because remember, we do get artifacts from the campaign. So we can double dip a little bit and get XP plus artifacts towards the event. And this event is pretty doable. 3,300 points to get our fusion requirement, and you get 6 days to do it. So I like this event in general. We've got some, we've got a shard, a couple books, a couple, champs for fusions, some energy and some gems, some silver. So all in all, I'll give this event a pretty decent grade. It's definitely doable for most players out there, so I do like that, and I recommend, going after it and, having a nice blend between campaign and dungeons as you kind of progress. All right. Also, a tournament that has gone live, a champion chase tournament. That is a 3-day tournament with currently 2.5 days left as of this video. So as we can see here, this tournament is very interesting because this champion up here at 2,000 points is Bulwark. And Bulwark is a dwarf that is a debuff extender. An extremely good dwarf for, early to mid-game players, even passing into viability in some, some areas of the end game. So a very good rare to get your hands on. And at only 2,000 points, it's very realistic. We can see here, we're going to be getting 250 points for every epic, 500 for a legendary. So after just summoning a few epics, maybe even a legendary, you're going to be well on your way towards accomplishing the goal of getting Bulwark. Now, I can go over Bulwark really quick. I know some of you are probably curious. Let's pull up Bulwark, and it is the rare defense void right here. So I will definitely be going for him because I do not have him, and I'm going to try to get a guide out ASAP because he is a very good character for most new to mid-game players out there to utilize. And we've got an A1 that attacks one enemy twice, each hit with a chance to place weaken. And a really good thing about Bulwark is his damage scales off of defense, so we can build both his survivability and damage at the same time. I love characters that are based on defense and HP. A2 is attack of one enemy with a 75% chance of placing an HP burn for 2 turns, and we can also get that up to a 100% chance if we have him fully booked. He's a rare, so he's a lot cheaper to book, so a really good A2 there. We've got a passive. This is what makes him interesting. When attacked, a 30% chance of extending the duration of all debuffs on the attacker by 1 turn. So this makes him very good versus the clan boss. If you can get the proper rotation of debuffs on the clan boss, every time the clan boss kind of attacks your team, there's a 30% chance that the duration of all of those debuffs, the poisons, the HP burn, the decreased attack, the weaken, the decreased defense, all of those powerful debuffs are going to get extended by a turn. There's a chance to every time that boss attacks, which makes Bulwark pretty much a god tier rare in terms of, how he fits compared to the other rares in the game. He's got lots of utility. And to boot, we've got an aura that is ally defense in all battles by 17%. A very generally useful aura. It's all battles. It's defense. The percent is not great, but remember, he is a rare. He's not an epic or a legendary, so the aura is not going to be amazing. But definitely worth getting your hands on Bulwark if you have saved up shards. I would say it is definitely worth to pull 2,000 points worth of shards to go for Bulwark because he is a god tier rare. So anything else to talk about the tournament here? I like this tournament in general. I do wish that at 2,500 we got an epic book, and then at 3,000 we got a legendary book. That is one thing I would kind of add in there. 2,500 and then 3,000. That's one thing I would change, but I do really like how it's realistic to get Bulwark. It is gonna take a decent amount of shards. I mean, you do got to summon like probably 6 or 7 epics in order to get him, so it's not like guaranteed or free, but at least it's realistic, it's doable. And I like how, for those of us that are really going to try to do a bunch of summoning, the rewards are pretty good. We've got a full Relentless set 6-star legendary, and then a 6-star epic, a 6-star rare, and then a 4-piece, and then we're getting 75 gems, 250,000 silver. The rewards are not perfect, but they are trending in the right direction. These rewards and events used to be like 50,000 silver, 10 gems, and then up here it would be like 1 piece. So at least we're getting a full set of 6-piece, a 6-piece 6-star legendary set. So the rewards all in all on this event are designed pretty well. One change I would have made, like I said earlier, was just adding a different tier and throwing a legendary book in there as well. But I do love Bulwark as a reward, and I love the general structure of the event. These events are trending towards a better spot, and they're not the rewards aren't as awful as they used to be. So I am happy about that. Now let's get to the order of business. This is what you came for. Harvest Jack. So I guess first of all, let's just go ahead and dive into Harvest Jack. I like to pull up people in the index because then we get to see what they are fully maxed out. So Harvest Jack is right here. First of all, I love the aesthetics. This is a very cool looking champion, a great Halloween fusion. The skull looks cool. The weapon is awesome. The outfit, the aesthetics, very cool looking champion. Spirit, great. We've got a base speed of 102. That is excellent. Anytime our base speed's over 100, that is great. So that is something to take note of. And then we've got an A1 here. Attack one enemy 3 times. Multi-hit A1s are always good. Each hit has a 25% chance of stealing 1 random buff from the target. That's awesome. Each hit also has a 25% chance of placing a fear debuff for 1 turn if the target has no active buffs. This chance increases to 100% if all buffs were stolen from the target. This is an awesome A1. So I guess first of all, I should clarify, some of you may not have experimented with fear and true fear a lot. Fear basically makes it so that when a champion tries or attempts to use a skill, there is a 50% chance that they will not activate that skill. Now, the difference between fear and true fear is fear will just sacrifice the turn. True fear will put that attempted skill on cooldown. So true fear is way better than fear because not only do they not use their skill, but it puts it on cooldown. With fear, yes, they won't use their skill, but they can attempt to use it the next turn. So that's the difference between fear and true fear. True fear is an amazing debuff, especially for CC in dungeons. The A2 is an AoE on a 3-turn cooldown. Place a block buffs debuff for 2 turns on targets under fear. Remove any increased attack buff from the target and replace it with a 50% decrease attack. Okay. Remove any continuous heal buff from the target and replace it with a 5% poison for 2 turns. The number of poisons is equal to the number of continuous heals. Okay, so this one is interesting. It's going to be a little bit of an inconsistent value because in order to place any debuff, we need to already have a fear debuff on them. But if they are under a fear, this is an epic effect. To place a block buffs debuff for 2 turns is amazing. So on a 3-turn cooldown, I'm going to say this is still a pretty good ability. And then we've got another AoE. This one on a 4-turn cooldown. Attack all enemies, a 75% chance of placing a true fear debuff for 1 turn. Also places a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns and decreases each target's turn meter by 15% if the true fear is placed. And we can get that to a 100% chance with books. Has a 75% chance of placing a sleep debuff for 1 turn if the true fear debuff is not placed. Wow. And also, one thing to note that I want to make sure and get out there right away is Harvest Jack is based on HP. So I love this champion. I love the design of it. I love how there's a little bit of RNG to the overall, value of the abilities tying in, but there's also some consistent value. There's a good base speed. The affinity is Spirit, which can be hard to get characters that are Spirit affinity. We need more of them in the game. We've also got a passive on this champion. When attacked, decrease the duration of all buffs on the attacker by 1 turn. That's an incredible passive. I love it. So I love the aesthetics. I love the design of the abilities. I love how everything kind of ties together. I love that he's based on HP. Just an amazing champion. I'm going to have to kind of look it over more and summon him and maybe do a little bit of testing to get him ranked. But I would say kind of probably about in that top 10 legendary area, probably in like that 10 to 15 range, maybe even a little bit higher, like that 8 to 12 range in terms of best legendary in the game. Just my first impression just seems like a very, very good champion, and this ability will be amazing in the arena. He's going to attack everybody, place a fear, so even if they get to go, there's a chance that they won't activate their skill. It's going to decrease turn meter, decrease their speed. It's based on HP, so he'll be viable in the arena, and he'll be amazing in dungeons. So A+ champion. I love Harvest Jack, and my consensus is if it's realistic for you, if it's attainable, you should definitely go for acquiring him, because he will definitely be very good in Faction Wars as well. He will be one of the carriers for your Undead Faction Wars team, and you'll be able to use him in a lot of different areas of the game. Admittedly, he's not going to be very good against the clan boss, but he'll be basically usable anywhere else. Okay, so that covers that. And then in terms of the fusion, so I guess the first thing you're going to be asking is, you know, people like to know is it worth sacrificing the 4 epics to get the legendary? And in this case, you know, really quickly I'll go over them. Suwai Firstborn is okay. Not good, not garbage, just kind of okay. So we can definitely part with her. Same with I'm going to butcher this horribly, and you guys are going to laugh at me. Maeve, is that right? Maeve? I'm going to go with Maeve. I'm going to guess Maeve. Okay, so Maeve is kind of the same thing here. We've got Sleep. We've got Stun. We've got a block revive. She's based on attack with a base speed of 100. Again, she's okay. She's not good. She's not garbage. But well worth sacrificing to get Jack. And then High Katoon. We all know the story on High Katoon. I have a champion guide on High Katoon. She is a login reward, so she is kind of a good introductory early to mid game character in terms of manipulating turn meter and bringing a speed aura, but definitely worth sacrificing to get Jack. And then we've got Lady Atessa. We've got a block buffs on an A1. I do like that. That's very cool. Stuns, but it's a 3-turn cooldown that only hits 1 enemy. You know, okay. And then this ability is really cool. This is like a baby Longbeard, kind of like Hyria. We've got an ally attack, which is very cool. I love that ability. But is she worth sacrificing for Harvest Jack? Absolutely. So all in all, if you're able to go for the fusion, we've got like 15, 16 days to go for Harvest Jack. And I would say my recommendation would be, if it's realistic for you, to definitely go for it. I think Harvest Jack is an amazing champion, and I like this event. I must say, is it perfect? No, but are we heading in the right direction? Yes. The rewards for the event are okay. The champions for the fusion are realistically attainable with a good time frame to get there. The tournament, we've got a chance to get a cool champion that is very useful for most players out there. And yes, 2,000 points is a little bit tough to get to, but it's realistic. It's not like 5,000 points or something. And then the rewards for those that do invest a lot of money in shards are going to at least get, you know, hopefully a worthwhile reward. So again, not perfect, but trending in the right direction. And the fusion, I love the legendary champion. I love the design, the aesthetics, everything about him, as I said before. So yeah, I also want to cover the gem offer that came through. Let's go over kind of how this grades out. I think it's going to grade out kind of on the bad end. This may even be in the red, but let's see here. I wish this was like 7,000 gems or something. Okay, so it grades out as decent, but yeah, I wish this was, if it were 7,000, well, then it would be excellent. So 6,500. Yeah, I wish this was 6,500 gems. If it were 6,500 gems, I would be tempted to buy it. I probably wouldn't. If it were 7,000 gems, I probably would. But yeah, so this gem pack offer that's kind of, you know, gone out to the community today would be kind of a soft unrecommend for me. I probably would lean away from this unless you're like a whale and spending $100 is nothing to you. If you are judicious about how you spend your money, this is probably one that I would pass on. But the Conqueror pack, we all know that's a pretty good deal, and the Special Progress pack is great. So if you're going to be playing a lot, going for the fusion, you're going to be playing a lot this weekend, I would recommend scooping up 1 or 2 of these. It's going to be worth it if you're able to get Harvest Jack. That's kind of my overall consensus of the offers out there right now. So Yeah, a lot to cover there, and I hope that all made sense. If you have any questions, drop it down in the comments. I'll do my best to get back to you, and definitely let me know what you think about the champion, about the fusion, about the event, about the tournament. I always enjoy hearing your guys' input. So yeah, as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.